Well, hello everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of a Crime and we're back, guys. I really wanted to come on a few minutes earlier, but I didn't make it. Let me check some things that I got going on here. One second. My computer just wants to be crazy. All right. Hello everybody. What's up? Come on in. See my camera is being wonky. Hold on, guys. Good to see you after the holiday, my friends. Let's see. Of course, I'm going to come on and it's going to do this to me. Don't do this to me. All right. We'll do the best we can. They found a body, guys. They think it's hers. Breaking news. So before we get into anything else, say a prayer for Camila Mendoza Olmos. I have a big show today, but first we're going to start off with finding the body that they think is hers. And guys, they don't suspect foul play, which is wild because I still got an entire show for you guys that is I've been following this case since it happened, since she went missing on Christmas Eve, and I can't help to just keep on digging. But right when I came on, I found out that there's a body found, and you guys aren't going to believe a lot of what I'm telling you today. I also got to tell you that there are three in total missing Texas teens. So we're going to start from update body being found. We're going to do that. I'm going to go over everything that I know with you. And then we're going to see there's a new interview from her dad that says that those videos were not even Camila. Those videos that y'all been watching and I've been watching for days, he says they're not her. So where are we with this case? Where we are, what I know now is a body's been found. They suspect the body to be Camila Olmos, and they say it's not foul play. If there's no foul play, then that means it's self-harm. All right. So we're going to get into it. A lot of you guys don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. You guys are just happy because I'm back. I was sick the last couple days. I had like a sore throat. Baby Guilty was sick almost all of Christmas and then pass it on to me. So I'm going to try to, as much as I want to talk, I got to talk. All right. I got to talk as little as possible. Now, listen, this is absolutely a body being found. And we're going to get to all of it. Amy Lynn, I'm glad you're here. 3 have not been found. 2 have been found. And I'm going to get into all of it. So there's 3 missing Texas teens. One of them was found, they think. Now the second one being found would be Camila, and we still have one missing, all in Texas. And these are not good parts of Texas. All right, let's just jump right into this right now so that we can be on the same page. And then this just came out minutes before I was started to stream. Bexar County Sheriff gives us an update on 19-year-old Camila Olmos. This is not yesterday's. This was just 46 minutes ago, guys. Let's go. All right. And when it gets to Spanish, they're going to summarize what the Spanish is. And when they say something in Spanish, they're basically saying the same thing in Spanish and then English. So if you guys don't know it, it's pretty simple. All right, here it goes. Here's the body found update.
Good afternoon. I'm here to provide latest update on this case. As you know, we've spent the last several days looking for Camila. And the update that we have today is that we just recently, about 4:40, 4:45, found a body in the field nearby here.
All right, so you guys heard they found a body, and thank you, buyer. All right, I don't watch Jay anymore because I made a New Year's resolution. Stop listening. Well, thank you, Jake. I appreciate you. Let's get this guy out of here. And buyer. All right, buyer, Texas. Thank you. And for those that know the Spanish, it's pretty easy anyway. All right, it's a pretty easy Spanish. It's like this guy took Spanish 1 and 2. He talks really slow, and it's easy to follow. Even dingbats like me can follow it. All right. So when he says like una dia picto, he says like the easiest Spanish. All right. Now, guys, come on in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. We're almost on New Year's. We're still going to be giving things away. We're still doing it guilty of crime style, but bigger. So please, please, please get your memberships, gift your memberships, all of that. I'm probably going to be here for a good hour and a half, 2 hours today. And I ask that you help with our goal as well. All right. A body was found in the field. Let's then go back to that. All right. You can see he doesn't want to be saying this. All right. Let's go. Aw, thank you, Rocco. Thank you. There. Okay.
Is everybody ready?
We're ready to go. Let's go. Let's
Good
bring the new
afternoon.
year in
I'm
together.
here to provide latest update on this case. As you know, we've spent the last several days looking for Camila. And the update that we have today is that we just recently, about 4:40, 4:45, found a body in the field nearby here. At this point, it's too early to tell if the body that we found is that of Camila, but at this point, we don't suspect foul play. As you all know, one of the
And we're gonna read into an article after, but if they don't suspect foul play, then that means they suspect that her mental health got to her and she took her own life. That's what that means. So let me translate that to you. And as we go, we're gonna continue digging into this story after we're done listening to this guy. All right. Well, after we're done listening to this major update, we're gonna still continue. So stay here. But before I even got on here, I didn't know her body had been found and it might be her. So if you, as you see, update body found, Camila Olmos, Texas teen, search intensifies as dad says videos, not daughter. We're still going to get into that because we need to know what happened.
possibilities that we were working under was the fear of self-harm. And at this point, there are some indicators that the body that we found may be as a result of that. Obviously, the medical examiner will have to make definitive identification, and we'll have to provide cause and manner of death. But as of now, we're processing the scene, and we hope to have more.
Now, rumor has it that they found a gun near her body, guys. So we're going to keep going talking about that today. Jamie Casey says, choo choo, last super chat. Actually, it's the first of the last super chats for 2025. We're going to come in strong in 2026, y'all. But foul play is not suspected. It says a gun found near her body in the field. There are also 2 more missing girls in San Antonio. Before Camila was found. Now there's a third. So we're going to talk about all that, guys. They're saying it's not foul play. They're saying it's not connected. But is there a serial killer? Yes, that's what we're doing today, Oberyn. The body was just found. They just said Camila. They believe Camila was her in the field.
As a result of that, obviously the medical examiner will have to make definitive identification, and we'll have to provide cause and manner of death. But as of now, we're processing the scene, and we hope to have more information to release as soon as we're able. The area in question is probably about, I'd say, as the crow flies, about a quarter of a mile from here, and probably a few hundred yards from her actual residence. It's an area very, very close to here.
Thank you.
This afternoon, it was the folks that found the body it was a joint team comprised of BCSO and FBI. Incidentally, the FBI has been great partners in this investigation. Up to this point, they had been really helping with intel work and processing digital evidence, but today they actually sent us basically a small army of agents that actually helped with boots on the ground work. And we actually this afternoon made a conscious decision to go back to an area that had already been checked. But due to tall grass, we felt that there would be a benefit to checking the area once again. And as I mentioned, probably about 10 minutes into that search, the body was found. And again, too early to tell who or a cause and manner, but we do have a body at this point. Esta tarde voy a dar más información tocante este caso que nosotros hemos dado.
And you can see, Synth can tell us what he's saying in Spanish. He's basically, because this is Texas, the population is Spanish and English. He's just telling us the same thing that we just heard. Like yesterday morning, we found this. And if Synth wants to just translate in chat, feel free. I was hoping for a safe return. That was my post today. I did the Texas teen in danger. We need to find her. And now we do think that we have found her. James, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. Royal Bitch X says now it makes sense why she walked out with just her ID. So sad for the prayers. But I really want you guys to pay attention because after this, we're going to go over that stuff that the dad says wasn't even her. So everything that y'all think you know right now about this case, you don't. All right. Except depression is absolutely real. I believe that 110%. And nowadays, there's family annihilators almost once a week, somebody annihilating their entire family. If mental health isn't real or right, then you guys tell me. Tell me. So they found her body. They found her body. They have not identified 100% DNA, but they're absolutely saying that it was her body and no foul play. All right.
Investigando por varios días. Como ustedes saben, hemos andado buscando a Camila. Esta tarde, un equipo de oficiales con mi agencia, pero también agentes federales con el FBI, fueron trabajando juntos. Ellos descubrieron un cuerpo. Ahorita es muy temprano para decir quién es este cuerpo o la manera de fallecer, pero sí se sabe que es un cuerpo. Ahorita no sospechamos homicidio, sino que ahorita estamos tratando de averiguar obviamente quién es esta persona y cómo fallecieron. El área, la escena donde está el cuerpo ahorita está cerca, aproximadamente cuarto de milla de aquí y cerca de la casa donde vivía Camila. Ahorita estamos procesando la escena, estamos esperando al médico forénsico para que nos digan quién es la persona y cómo fallecieron. I'll go ahead and give you a recap. So this afternoon, about 4:40, 4:45, a joint team comprised of BCSO deputies and FBI agents were conducting an open field search of a field where we had already checked once before, but due to high brush, we made a conscious decision to head back out there and check again. They found what we believe to be a body at this point. It's too early to tell who the body is or cause and manner of death.
All right, so listen, we're talking today about Camila Olmos. 19-year-old Texas teen went missing on Christmas Eve. They now say they found a body that they believe to be hers. They also say that they don't suspect foul play. They suspect that it was her own doing. And rumor has it that they found a gun nearby her body. Again, it hasn't been confirmed because they haven't been able to check DNA, but they are looking at the clothing. You got to remember the light blue shorts, the shirt that she was wearing, the description, which we'll go over right after this. All right.
The medical examiner will be making both of those determinations, but we hope that we can try to expedite that process to be able to get the community answers that everybody's been waiting for. Any questions? Yes, sir. During the course of the investigation, we developed some information that there may have been some suicidal ideations on Camila's part before, some signs of depression, undiagnosed as far as we can tell, but from what's being described to us, it sounds like it was a young person going through a very tough time in their life and going through some emotional issues, and there was some indicators of suicidal ideations as well. Ahorita no se sabe, no podemos decir.
What kind of, any obvious injuries to the body?
No, at this point, no. I mean, I can tell you that we found a firearm very near the body. And in this particular case, we were actually looking for.
Say they found a firearm near the body, all right, which they're saying might be her firearm that she brought to take her own life. So there was a recent breakup that we know about. There's also mental health, and we're gonna go over that. We're still going over what we had for today. I assure you, if you think you know about this case today, you know nothing about this case. It's not the same as it was yesterday. All right, good to see you, Muka said. I don't know I'm going to call you Muka. Good to see you, my friend.
Or a firearm as well that had come up missing.
And did that firearm belong to a relative?
It was a family member's firearm, yes.
Family member's firearm.
No, I mean, the last video we put out yesterday was a video from somebody's dash cam that had seen somebody matching the description that we had put out on social media that day. At this point, we're still not 100% that the person in that video is Camila. Although the clothing description did match, we received several different kinds of clothing description of clothing she could be wearing at the time. And so at this point, it's too early to tell if this is actually her, but we're operating on that distinct premise. Pues quisiéramos pedir más videos de la comunidad. Obviamente el video de ayer ojalá nos ayudó un poco, pero también se sabe que el área donde ella fue encontrada o el cuerpo fue encontrado, está cerca de la casa. Es posible que si es ella, ella pudiera haber cruzado a ese punto sin cámaras verla a esa hora también. Yes, the area where the body was found is very close to Camila's home. And it's quite possible that based upon the canvassing that we did, not every house had camera footage or cameras. So it is possible that at that time of the day, on that day, she may have made it out to that area without going across any camera. So it's possible no camera footage exists, but we would still ask people on that street to double check their cameras again. Yes, sir. So I'm guessing in the next day or two, they'll be able to tell us a little bit more about who the body is. And then hopefully soon thereafter, cause and manner of death as well. La ropa que tiene puesto el cuerpo es similar a la ropa que nosotros.
And what they're asking, guys, I don't even understand. I understand Spanish, but I don't speak it. They literally just asked him about the clothing and what they think about. That's what la ropa means, right? Since they're asking about the clothing and if the clothing is matching. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if they were using those videos to find her and they were dead on what she last wore out of the gate, it's going to be the same clothes. Also, if the gun is a family member's gun, it's going to be her. That's going to be her body. We don't have to have DNA. We don't need to put 1 + 1 = 2. All right. If the DNA matches, but they're strongly saying that the clothing seems to match and all the things seem to match her. So that's what they're going to do next is DNA testing. And we'll get into that right after this.
Teníamos figurados que ella llevaba puesto. There was a firearm missing in this case. We had not parted with that information publicly just yet, but I can tell you that there has been a firearm recovered at the scene where the body is missing from the home. Yes.
So have you confirmed that firearm belonged to that relative?
The firearm that was missing did belong to a relative. The firearm that has been observed there at the crime scene, we haven't touched it yet. So we haven't gotten close enough to verify serial numbers. Sí hay una pistola allí con el cuerpo y sí sabemos que en este caso una pistola se había desaparecido de la casa. Una pistola.
See, that's all he's saying. He's saying there was a gun that was separate and he's talking about the clothing. And 1, 2, 3, my name is Jay. It's Jai and it's pronounced J. When I take this away, you can see my name over there right on the left-hand corner. Right there. It says Jai, just so you know. All right, let's keep going.
Que pertenecía a un pariente.
¿Van a dejar de buscar en el área? Porque ahorita todavía no se sabe si
Pues todavía vamos a dejar una presencia aquí en el área. Nosotros vamos a estar aquí por cuando menos esta noche procesando la escena, porque ahorita, aunque no sospechamos homicidio, todavía tenemos que manejar la investigación con esa posibilidad en mente que puede ser un homicidio. Entonces tenemos que estar aquí por la mayoría de esta noche procesando todo. Entonces van a todavía haber actividades aquí de nosotros. ¿El médico forense podría tratarse en revelar los resultados de los exámenes? ¿Cómo dice? ¿El médico forense se podría tratar en revelar el resultado de los exámenes? Ojalá para mí, mi preferencia es que tan pronto que se pueda. Ojalá en unos cuantos días nos puedan decir quién es esta persona que nosotros encontramos y qué fue la manera de fallecer. Yo otra pregunta, solamente en esta semana hay 3 casos de mujeres desaparecidas con adolescentes. Una de Sofía Gabriela. No, Sofía ya la encontramos. Está bien. Sí.
They're actually answering it in English and Spanish, but in Texas, unforgivable sins, the population is hugely Hispanic in Texas. Remember, right by Texas, you got the border of Mexico where people coming in and coming out. It's even more heavily populated than California. And California has dual speaking, but you rarely are going to see a person like this talk Spanish in a California setting, unless it's in a huge community of Latinos, Hispanics, What's up, Electric? Good to see you. You guys, I'm going to get through all of this. We just started, so don't worry. If you missed something, we're going to come back. If you didn't understand something in Spanish, it'll be reiterated.
See, he was just asking me about a young lady that we put on social media this morning, Sofia Cobos. We were actually in the process of reporting that she's been found alive and well when this call came in, so we kind of hit the stops on her. But we're no longer looking for her. Thankfully, she's back with family, and she's accounted for. Bueno, no tengo mucha información en eso, solamente que nosotros sí mandamos un agente federal y una de nuestras investigadoras. Ellas las dos fueron y les dieron las noticias a la familia de Camila que habíamos encontrado un cuerpo, pero no se sabe, yo no sé qué reaccionaron. ¿Por parte de la familia van a necesitar ADN o algo para poder ver si es... Pues a ver qué es lo que vamos a necesitar. No sé si el forénsico médico nos puede ayudar con huellas o con récords dentales o como sea, pero la familia han estado ayudando.
See, what they're saying right now is they need to check. He literally said the dental records and the DNA. That's all he's saying. It just sounds like, if you don't speak Spanish, but that's what's happening. There's also more. Yeah, Texas is similar to California. However, I'm in the Bay Area of California. And when they do a news conference, they don't usually do it in Spanish unless they go to their Spanish station or unless it's heavily populated Hispanic. But yes, I'm in California and I know. All right. Thank you, Mystic Firefly. I can understand what they're saying too. They're talking about forensics and DNA and dental records, and they still have to check all of that. All right. No one speaks Spanish on the East Coast. Oh, yeah, they do. Puerto Rico is all I got to say. Puerto Rico is the East Coast. A lot of Puerto Ricans, and that's a different kind of Spanish.
Con todo lo que se necesita y ojalá tenemos las esperanzas que ellos van a seguir ayudándonos. So is this early indications that it's that it could be a suicide? Look, at this point, we were certainly operating with that in mind. There had been some concerns early on. We didn't necessarily part with all of this information in detail, but there had been some concerns of depression, suicidal ideations made on Camila's part, to where we were considering that a very real possibility. Obviously this body being found with a weapon very nearby, that's certainly, to me, the prevailing theory, but we're still going to process the scene as if it's possibly a homicide and possibly not her. But, obviously for us, we're operating with that as the main prevailing theory at this point. How is the family holding up? I don't have much information other than we did send a joint team to the house of an agent and a deputy an investigator from the sheriff's office, and they both delivered that notification to Camila's mom a little bit ago, but I don't know what the reaction was from there. And we were not able to tell her definitively this is her because we just don't know at this point. At this point, I don't know if it was a mounted deputy or a deputy on foot or a deputy or a drone. We had drones overhead as well.
Now, I want you guys to remember they had already searched the area where her body was ultimately found, right? And again, there hasn't been DNA or dental records or any of that stuff, all right? So, but we're going with 1 + 1 = 2 at this point, all right? And again, East Coast, Puerto Rico, folks. All right. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans over there and Cubans and Dominicans, and they all kind of speak the Spanglish. There's a Spanglish, a Spanish, there's a Tex-Mex kind of, they're all Latin, but they have a little bit different, meaning to each thing. Mo says, I got my stocking. I love it. I'm rocking my Guilty of Crime shirt at work. Well, so am I, my friend. So am I. All right.
Well, I'll probably be receiving that update here as we speak in just a few minutes. But it was a good joint team of BCSO and FBI. And once again, the FBI has just been great at this. DPS called us earlier. Chief Vince Luciano has been great. He's been calling me all day, asking if we needed any help. I've been receiving calls from law enforcement all over, offering up assistance. But FBI came through big time for us today.
Now, listen, FBI had just joined the search. That was part of the heading I was going to tell you about today was FBI joins. They think she's in terrible danger. And then here we are finding a body with a gun near it, and they're saying no foul play. All right, let's keep going. Again, it's not 100%, but 1 + 1 usually = 2.
Ahorita no se sabe porque todavía no tocamos el cuerpo. Solamente encontramos el cuerpo. tapamos ahorita y luego ya no tocamos, no vamos a tocar el cuerpo hasta que llegue el forénsico. So from what I can gather, she was having a tough time with school, with work, with a relationship that had recently ended. I mean, just typical teen.
And I was just talking to you about that, Holly, about the pressures nowadays and all the family annihilators that keep coming out and all the people that are taking their lives. The pressures nowadays are a lot bigger and they're bigger and they're faster than they used to be because everything is now instant communication. You can't get away from a thing. It's like you have more and more, and the younger and younger, it seems like there's more responsibility, the instant communication, the relationships, the school. And that's exactly what he's saying. He's pointing at those things that got to our mental health. Those are the things that all of our children do. So got to be careful.
Stuff that she had going on, and it's heartbreaking to have seen and read some of the things that we're reading, because it was pretty clear she was going through a very tough time.
Damn,
so,
man.
I mean, I use this as an opportunity to remind everybody out there, whether you've got kids this age or even well into adulthood, check on people and don't take anything for granted. Many times we hear, well, she was depressed, but she seemed to have gotten better all of a sudden, so everything must be okay. Well,
Nope.
Sometimes when everything seems to be okay, it might be because they've made up their mind and they're coming to peace with the fact that they're going to end their own life. And so I don't mean to scare anybody with that, but don't always take that as a comfort and say, okay, we must be through the crisis. Definitely, if you're going through a crisis yourself, reach out and get help. If you suspect that a friend or family member is going through a tough time mentally, please get them the help that they need. Sure, there's crisis hotlines. There's a national suicide hotline. You can always call the non-emergency number for the sheriff's office or for the SAPD. There's no shortage of numbers you can call, and absolutely people are going to be willing to come help. I mean, it's tough. This is certainly not the outcome we were hoping for, right? We always hope in these situations that that she's going to be fine and that she's with the boyfriend and just wanted to get away from everything and not talk to anybody. You don't ever want any case to end like this. And although we're not yet at that point where we're ready to say that this is her, the fact is we've got a body. And
yeah, they absolutely, like he was just saying, they've got a body and all things point at being self deletion. That's a good way to say it. I mean, it's a terrible thing, but yeah, no, I haven't. This just came out minutes ago, Kathy, so I've heard nothing. But yes, this is Camila Olmos, Texas teen, search intensifies, and they went back to a spot they had already looked at previously, and they found a body that matches hers today with a gun very near where she was lying, and the gun was one of a family member's that also matches. The clothing description matches, so there we are. Right?
And it's a distinct possibility.
Absolutely.
It's a landscaping company very near here.
Was she wearing the same clothing that matched the description?
So we've got several different clothing descriptions that were put out that day. We got the one that was put on social media, but then somebody gave us an alternate clothing description, and the body is wearing clothing that's very similar to what was described to us.
Mm-hmm.
Bueno, mira, nosotros obviamente teníamos las esperanzas que la íbamos a encontrar con amigos, con un novio fuera del pueblo, no quería hablar con nadie, pero ya cuando se toca de encontrar un cuerpo, obviamente eso no es lo que queríamos. Entonces para nosotros lo único que yo puedo decir ahorita es que mi prioridad es poder averiguar si este cuerpo es de ella y luego ya poderles ayudarles a la familia con lo que ellos necesiten en ese momento de nuestra agencia. Okay. Thank you all so much, guys.
All right, I tried to play it as much as I could. One lady came on here and told me to shut up and just let me keep playing it. But as you know, we're a commentary channel where we talk about what's happening. So now let's take a look at this so we can really solidify what we know about this case and what happened right now. What the hell's happening? what's happening in Texas, first of all, we're going to get into that and all of everything I had ready for y'all today. All right. Jay, all I hear is tacos, enchiladas, and burritos. Well, that sounds good to me, my friend. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. Also, if you have the means to choo and help us to get to that goal, that would be awesome. All right, I'm going to keep, let me tell you what we know. Now, this just came out minutes ago, guys. Today is December 30th. All right, 2025. This came out at 5:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or I'm sorry, Central. I'm only it's 4:31 here, and that came out 5:44 in Texas. All right, so excuse me, I've been sick the last couple of days, sore throat, etc. All right, what we know about the disappearance of Camila, and the dad just came out with a new interview. He just came out with a new interview, guys, and he's talking about all the things. Also, he's talking about why he didn't think that was her, etc. So we're gonna work backwards. All right. And you're right. They're never gonna have the same. They're never gonna have a Christmas like that again. All right. Let me tell you what happened just minutes ago. What we know about the disappearance of Camila Mendoza, last seen in Northwest, and you guys said Bexar County. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go with Bexar for now, or Bear. You guys said Bear, Northwest Bear County. 19-year-old was last seen at the 1100 block of Caspian Spring on December 24th. All right. San Antonio, Texas update today, an hour ago. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar said a body was found during the search for Camila. Now, I want you guys to remember they ramped up. It's Bear. Thank you. Bear. Okay. They ramped up this. And thank you, James. I do appreciate you. I appreciate that so much. All right. So here's the latest. They ramped up. They went back, and where they had already searched in grassy areas, they now found Camila. Salazar said at this point, guys, it's too early to tell if the body is Camila Olmos. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office will confirm identification and determine the cause and manner of death. All right. It's a developing story. Search efforts continue in the disappearance, who was last seen December 24th. KSAT's been covering the story in Texas since Friday, and they put a public safety issued for her. All right. Bexar County Javier Salazar just provided us an update, and today the update is they found a body that they believe is to be Camila's. Now, listen, Camila disappeared on December 24th. All right. She was last seen at 6:58 a.m. Wednesday outside of her family home. And you guys know how many times you see your kids go out to the car or go out on the ring cam to go do something, right? Especially teenagers. Now, important thing is she was wearing a black North Face sweater with baby blue accents and baby blue shorts with white shoes. Now, you got to remember that when we see the footage that they're saying is her, and then the footage that the dad's saying isn't her. All right. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on how she was dressed. Now, she was only 5'4", guys. Beautiful young lady, brown hair, brown eyes, 110 pounds. You can see her right here. If that's her, may she rest in peace. Now, listen, her phone and all of her belongings, except her car key, stayed at home, including her car. Her friend said she usually goes for walks, but also she usually takes her phone with her, guys. All right. So the 19-year-old may be in danger. We now know that if that's her, she absolutely is in danger. Listen, guys, this is important. The 19-year-old, according to Bexar County, said that she has a history of suicidal ideation, but he wants her to know that there's help. So that means she's already come forward saying, I'd like to take my life. I'm depressed. You know, people don't say that in those words. Right? People don't say that. They don't say that in those words, but you get their signs. There's red flags. That's what happened in this case. All right. So she has a history of this. They say she's got people here that love her very much and are more than willing to help her deal with whatever she may be going through right now. Salazar said that that Camila recently went through a romantic breakup, but authorities said the breakup was mutual and they don't suspect anything nefarious was involved from the boyfriend. So I want you guys to understand that, because people are still thinking that it may be the boyfriend, which it possibly could. Now, new video shows pedestrian believed in the Mendoza Olmos case on December 28th. There's a dash cam you guys may or may not have seen, and that's what I have on my cover right now. Now, during the December 29th conference that we saw yesterday, Salazar said he can't say with 100% certainty that Mendoza or Camila was in the video, but said the clothing of the person in the video matches the description. All right. Let's see if I can play that without it being, otherwise I'll just.
You don't just snap a photo.
Hold on. Let me see if I could just show you that real quick, because it's all going to matter. All right. It's really hard to see this. I don't even know why they did this here. You guys probably saw this. The dad says it's not her, and many people say it was her. All right. Which we'll get into. I'm not going to sit there and examine this, but supposedly that's her right there. They're saying that she's coming around the bend, but when you actually see it, it looks like a dude. It looks like a big bulky dude. So keep that in mind. All right. Keep that in mind. All right. Let me back out of here, because it's going to get surprising too. I can't even believe that was yesterday's. All right, the person in the video appears to be walking. The dad now says it's not her. We're going to listen to the dad's new interview today. Salazar urged people, including residents, to give all the footage. That was the bottom line. Footage. It kept coming out. It may not have been her, or it may have been. Judge, let us be the judge whether it's usable or not. And he's still asking for footage. Now, this was the yesterday's press conference where they said that she's missing and they need help with footage. So search efforts were in full effect today, and they went back. FBI joined in. All right, so they say they'll continue working with BSO to determine whether a federal violation exists. But the FBI did come in, and it sounds like the FBI may have been the team that actually went back and found her. All right, they're talking about not wanting to miss any of the signs. Unless they have evidence to show otherwise, they believe she walked away from the residence, as we still do. We got to consider all possibilities. Family pleads for a safe return. We're going to watch all that. So that's this as it continues. She went missing 6 days ago, and now we think that we have her. All right, guys. So there's also the prevention line, right, from taking your life. American Foundation for S-Side Prevention. All right. And you could just say 800-316-9241. I can probably just drop that down in chat. All right, let's get out of here. And you guys, we have more surprising things coming up. We have more surprising information that I had no idea. All right. So I want you guys to take a look at this. They say she might have disappeared on her own volition, and now with the gun. And Holly, as I told you, 3 teens in similar areas have gone missing. Is this just a coincidence?
Massive search underway in Texas right now for 19-year-old Camila Mendoza Olmos, who disappeared almost a week ago from her home on the morning of Christmas Eve. Authorities say that they believe she could be in imminent danger. So here's what we know so far.
Now, listen up here. All of this just came out within minutes of me coming on. So I'm going to do the best I can with what I have. She did not take her life by taking pills. They found a gun near her. All right. Joseph Morgan, I like that. It's sad that they didn't secure the guns in the house if they knew she was having issues. I agree. And I don't know if you guys heard about this. Just a couple days ago, a little boy, a 2-year-old, went to his dad's bedside and grabbed a loaded handgun and shot himself right here because some guy left the handgun loaded for a 2-year-old child. This just happened on Christmas Eve. All right, Jay, I had an epiphany. What if she was getting the gun out of the car? That's a possibility. And we're going to look at all of that. Yes, that's what they found. Too much trans. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure if I can watch this. Maybe Family Dad did it. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But yeah, if you got to take a break, please take a break.
Camila's mother said that her daughter usually went on a morning walk and that she heard her leave the house that morning at 7 a.m. But Camila hadn't returned home when her mother woke up a little bit later that morning. Her cell phone was found in her room. It was uncharged. Her car was still at the house. The only video that police had until today was a neighbor's Ring camera that showed Camila looking inside the back seat of her car that morning. What she was looking for, it's not entirely clear. But today, police released a second video of Camila.
And again, guys, that video that you just saw, she could have literally been going into the car. That could have not been at her house. They said it was at a family member's house. And when you see the family members and her friends talking, those people didn't live in her household. She could have knew that. Listen, Texas, people walk around with Texas with guns. I think it's an open carry, right? If you have a gun like Colorado, you have to put it on the dashboard. You can't hide your weapons. No, you're not supposed to keep them loaded. But if I'm correct, if you guys are from Colorado, Texas, it's an open carry. So you have to let people know that you're carrying a weapon. You can't hide it. Like in California, you better put it in your belt. All right. All right. You've been following what happened. All right. You're going to hear everything about what happened if you just rolled in.
Camila, that shows her walking near her home along her normal route. Now, we should note that Camila is now the third young woman in Texas to go missing in the past few weeks. Joining me now is Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar, who has been leading this search. Thank you so much for coming on. Where are we at in the investigation, and how does this new video affect it?
Well, thanks for having me on and highlighting this case. It's certainly important to everybody. It's generated a lot of interest from all over the country. So up until today, we were very limited on where to go with this case. Earlier or yesterday and this morning, we were able to get out a video that was from a dash cam of a motorist just driving to work that up until this point just thought they had driven gone to work and not really seen much. But then the motorist got to thinking, I may have seen somebody that matched that description on my morning commute the other day. Sure enough, she reviewed the video, and what we believe is that it captured Camila just walking. There's nothing earth-shattering.
So that's that video, which we're gonna talk about next. Now, thank you for coming up with that and letting me know. Texas is concealed carry since 2021. All I know is when I go to those places, I have family, Colorado and many of the states, they just walk around with guns laying on the dashboard. They're like, oh, I have to show it. You can't hide them. So that's what I got from there. And people that do that have to be careful. Land of the tree, for a kid to take their life that young, if they really only knew, there's so much to live beyond what they're dealing with. And that's why we're covering this case, Land of the Tree. That's why, because more people need to know that we're there for them. All right. Jen Johnson says, oh my, thank goodness you're back. My whole nighttime routine has been thrown off without y'all. Hope you had a beautiful Christmas, Jen. We did. I hope you did as well. Hit that like button, guys. Get yourself a membership. Get yourself a super chat, super sticker, and let's get towards a goal. Hey, Emily, good to see you. All right.
About the video necessarily, but it just does show that she was alone, at least at that point, right, a few minutes after the video that was captured in her driveway.
When you say that she's in imminent danger, I know there's been some confusion about, does that mean she was in a position to harm herself, which again, maybe is unlikely since you have this massive search effort. And I believe 100 family and friends have been looking for. You have these different agencies that are involved versus was she taken? Was she abducted? There is a situation about human trafficking in Texas. Is there something you can tell us at this point in time about what you may think happened to her?
Sure. I mean, and I wish there was more that I could say with regard to a more definitive approach. Right now, what we're looking at is the entire spectrum of possibilities. She could have just disappeared on her own volition and just wanted to get away, gather her thoughts. There is a concern regarding self-harm, so that could be what's going on here, is she may have gone and harmed herself, or she could have been abducted.
And guys, I would have probably, and I'm glad I wasn't here yesterday, because I probably would have bet on Camila not harming herself. I would have bet on it being the boyfriend. I would have bet on it being the 3 missing Texas teens, which we're going to talk about in a second. She's not the only one, but again, it's hard to find coincidences in true crime, and this may just be one of the cases. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Damn, this is just such a heartbreaking case. I didn't want it to end like this as much if you didn't, but listen up.
At this point, we're looking at that whole spectrum of possibilities until such time as some prevailing evidence emerges that leads us one way or the other.
But before I let you go, 30 seconds, there are 2 other missing women in Texas. There's Sydney Marquez, has been missing since December 11th from South Houston. There's 17-year-old Angelique Johnson, went missing near the same area where Camila has.
Now, again, he's going to kind of correct it, but when I saw this, I would have bet my car keys, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would have bet my car keys on the fact that 3 victims in the area going missing, but then he corrects it, and now we've found Camila. All right, allegedly we found Camila. We got to do the testing, but 1 and 1 equals 2. What's up, Freebeard? It's been a while. Good to see you, my friend. All right, this is crazy, but listen.
Gone missing. Any possible connection that you can tell us?
No, with Angelique, we're handling that case as well, and we've actually spoken to her, and we believe that she's alive and well wherever she is right now.
Okay, that's good news. Sheriff, thank you so much. Good luck on the search. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Be safe.
Right.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now.
So it's interesting that they put a lot of weight into that. Now, Camila's father, again, today, the search ramped up significantly. FBI joined, and friends and family came out. And yes, Mystic Firefly, that's interesting. Now, Dad, this is not the interview you guys saw yesterday. This was an interview from today as FBI ramped up to find his daughter. All right, so let's take a look at this together, what he says. Yes, Emily Jane. Emily, they found her. Update, body found, Camila Olmos, Texas teen, search intensifies, but the body was found at the very beginning of the episode. For the 30 minutes, we did a press conference. That's a good question, Kathy. Let's listen in to what Dad has to say. This is literally minutes before they did the press conference and announced that they found her body potentially. All right, now listen, if you guys just rolled in, I want you to understand what they found was a girl, a female, matching Camila's description, height, weight, clothes, and they found a gun that was matched to be a family gun. They know now that it was absolutely a firearm by her body, and it was from their family. All right, so that's what they have right now, and they believe that it was absolutely Camila Olmos. So update, body found. All right, good to see you, little Miss Sharon. Now, minutes before this, Papa Bear comes on there and tells us about the video that we've been looking at is probably not his daughter.
You were at the press conference yesterday with the sheriff. There is new dash cam video.
New dash
cam. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, it ain't her. She's a thin young lady, 110. You know, weighing 110, and that video looks like the dash cam. Looks like.
All right, so that was the dash cam video of the blob walking around. Everyone was like, people were identifying the blob as her. Content creators were streaming that blob for half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And this is the video that he says is not her. That was the video I just previously showed you. And he says it's not her because it didn't match her height, weight, or description of clothing.
Like a heavier person, at least 120. I'm a runner. Always ran my life, years, seven miles a day. It's not her. You can tell the person running, good at it. He has shorts. I'll see that foot coming. The camera. It ain't her.
No.
It ain't her, not at all.
What are you hearing from detectives and things like that?
Oh, they're on the case. They're putting all. I told them, please go hands down. All hands down on it, please. It's alive. You know, it's alive. We're talking about a life. It's not a game. You know, it's alive. My daughter, and time's going by, and it hurts more.
Absolutely. We're day 6, Alfonso.
6th day. It's agony. You know, pain. It's hard.
Yeah, it's very
Break
hard.
down.
Now, listen, the dad's going to probably talk again real soon about them finding his daughter and the description. All right. The card cam footage was 100% her. Now, there's two different footages, Johnny. There's two different footages that we're talking about here. All right. And it could be denial from the dad, but there's two different footages. I think a lot of you guys don't realize that there is a second footage. I'm going to play that next. All right. Or I can pop it up in between.
I know. But you got people coming in and out. I mean, you got people from Houston. This is worldwide. This has got a lot of attention, Alfonso. I mean, all eyes are on your daughter right now.
Yes, I'm real thankful. Yeah, all the support, people, the Tim Miller Association, that's what I said, and the global search, they're here too. Everybody, and makes that's what stands me, in my faith. First thing, I couldn't do anything without God first. With always God's first. I know He decides His hands. We're on His hands, on God. I always put God first, and all the help. You would see it here.
So today, what are we doing? We're getting organized, correct?
We're getting organized. Yeah, the rescue teams are here. You see that one here, global search, and then I heard there's another one coming from Houston. So the spots I haven't checked, or they're going to go.
Now, the search just intensified, and he just did this interview minutes before her body was found. I want you to remember that. All right. They doubled down today, and they went into the area that they had already gone over. So I want to reiterate that. And I want you to see something before we continue with Daddy talking, because a lot of people are like, maybe he was in denial or maybe whatever. Let me show you this real quick before we say that, because I really want you to see what I'm talking about and the video. All right. So this just happened hours ago as well. This is all just stacking on. Let's look at this video real quick.
In the investigation of the 19-year-old beauty who vanished on Christmas Eve. They're coming from citizen sleuths who are using all their investigative skills to search for Camila Olmos. This surveillance photo shows Camila at her car at 7 a.m. Was someone watching her? Yes, according to this citizen sleuth.
There could be a grainy image of a truck sitting just kind of behind the bumper, and it looks like maybe on the road. I do sort of see something there.
Camila's phone was found on her bed with a dead battery. That's sparking speculation about why she was rummaging through her car.
Personally, I think she could have been going out to the car to get a charger.
This sleuth wonders if Camila's recent breakup with her boyfriend is a factor in her disappearance. We need to point out that Nathan Gonzalez has been cleared of any involvement in her disappearance.
It looks like this has turned now into a runaway case, but Camila just had a very bad breakup with her boyfriend.
So that's what I want you guys to understand, is that this is not just me, not just, not just YouTube, not just social media, not just the news. It's people everywhere finding cameras, finding footage. There's multiple footages. And now, I mean, I'm getting coming breaking news from her mom. Her mom saying an hour ago that there's still no sign, even though Inside Edition did an interview that says that 4 hours ago, no sign of Texas teenager walked out of her home on Christmas Eve with the pajama bottoms on. She just reshared this, and I'd have to look at it, but her mom's saying something different, much different. So that's where we are right now. News for San Antonio's live on site. Now, I would love if somebody would please send me the link. I'm getting like kind of older stuff. I need, if you guys want to watch the live stuff, please send me a link, because her Facebook isn't going to do it. Her Facebook is Google Doc. If you click on it, it's not. I'm not going to click on that right now because I don't want to confuse y'all. All right. News for San Antonio is live on site. If y'all can send me a link, but let's continue looking at this, and I want to still listen to what her dad says.
Where she fell into a deep, dark place, and she's having trouble seeing the light.
We spoke to one of the citizen sleuths who asked to be identified as Jasmine.
I don't think that she just walked off. Talking with the mother, talking with the family, I'm getting actual feed coming in from a conversation with the dad. I personally think that someone took her.
Camila's pals are regularly posting videos showing their missing friend. Here she is at her high school prom. Authorities have also released dash cam video that they say show Camila walking along a road on the morning she vanished. It's a few blocks from her home.
Are your concerns at this point that she's been kidnapped for human trafficking? What are your concerns?
My concerns are that we might be looking in all the wrong places, or we just that she
All right, now I want you guys to know, and I did find that live coverage, guys. So I'm going to go to that after this. I got it, Emily. They just finished that up live. Yep, they're out on the scene right now. Remember, it's dark time. It's dark in Texas. I'm in California, so it's still light
might
outside.
not even be in the same city as us anymore.
All right, so let's do this. And I appreciate y'all because we're staying on top of all of this by watching this footage. So let me remove this. I'm gonna bring the new footage up that's live right now. All right, they're on the scene right now of the body. Look at live now, body discovered during 19-year-old Camila Olmos Mendoza search. All right, so I don't know why her mom would say it wasn't her when they're literally doubling down on the fact that it is her. So I want you to remember that's the site where they found the body. Oh my God, you guys see that? There's literally screaming and yelling from the family members. Okay, her cousins in chat. Okay, Avrian Chavez, welcome to the Crime Crew family. We're here to cover the Camila Olmos case, and that's the family. That's the family member screaming about the body being found. She's literally wanting to pound on the officer. Imagine just finding that out. Oh my goodness, guys. Say a prayer for her. And I say a prayer for you, Avrion Chavez or Avrion. All right, let's keep watching this. It's crazy. She's attacking them, and you know what it's for. It's not an attack like in a way that she's being mean. It's an attack like they just found the body that I think is my. You see that? I want you guys to see that. Okay. Thank you. Now, you guys tell me if that's not her. All right. You tell me that that's not her family falling on the ground. And Avrion, I'm in California too. You say she has one other brother. Definitely a trigger warning. Okay. You tell me this isn't her. 1 + 1 does equal 2. Always. It never changes, guys. I know. Damn, man. I know. Thank you, guys. Yes. Please. Man, guys, this is. I mean, I'm still going to talk over this a little bit I don't want to keep stopping it though, but it looks like they're out there talking with the family. Those are the same people that have been in all the interviews, guys. They're all out there. And you got to imagine that they're able to, whoever might have identified the body or the clothing, she has been gone for days and it's been cold outside. So she's probably not, I don't know how decomp is. And I don't want you guys to think I'm talking over them because you can't hear them. This is one of her. I don't know if this is a friend or a cousin, but I've seen this girl on many of the interviews pleading for her to come home. And now they're crying. Again, you can't hear what they're saying. Now, Indy, we think that one of the people that went for a second round, that the FBI is the one that absolutely found her. They went back to the same spot where they searched for her days ago, or in the very beginning, they started at point A and they found her with a gun near her, and it's been freezing for days, so the body is not going to be like in decomp in the way that like Madeline Soto was. Right? Again, we're just watching the cars go by and seeing what the people are doing. But in the case of Madeline Soto, yeah, it was hotter at that time, even though it was January January, and she had a hoodie on. There was heavy decomp already. All right. Camila had been going through some emotional issues due to the breakup. Yeah. Yes, with a gun. They found a gun near her body. And the gun, guys, matched to the same gun that a family member owns. They already identified it, or they wouldn't have put a press conference together telling us that the gun matched the family. Or they'd come out and say that. God, never take your life over a boyfriend. Never take your guys, listen, never take your life over mental health issues. There's always somebody to call. Then it's her. Yeah, I'm telling you guys. You say it sounds suspicious, but I mean it does sound suspicious, but what about when they get her the fingerprints from the gun and they identify the DNA in the dental records, guys? I mean, are you going to believe that she did it then? Because they absolutely initially told us that she had mental health issues when this first started, guys. But I think they didn't want us to rule it out and stop sleuthing, right? They didn't want us to not send body cam. Had they said that they think she took her life, we might not have. You want to watch the press release again, guys? Hold on. Where was the press release? Hold on. All right, hold on. All right, you guys let me know. Do you want to watch the press release again? It's only about 10 or 12 minutes, and it gives us the update. If you guys want me to play the press conference again, put a 1 in chat, all right? It just happened. So put a 1 in chat if you want me to play the press conference again that tells us where the body was found, about the gun, about the family members, etc. Chat's not moving, so guys, hit a 1 if you want that. If not, then all right, let's go a little bit more forward. I see what I'm. This is the scene where they found her, guys. Okay, I want you to know that. All right. Let's move it along a little bit more. All right, there's the scene. You guys want to watch it again? Okay. All right. All right, let's take a look here, see if I... This is literally the scene where they found her, so look at that. That's where they're pulling up, and they got the tape lines, they got the ambulance, I'm sure they've got the person that's going to take the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that down for y'all. I'm going to stop it, and then we're going to play the press release again, and then I can go back to that. All right, so let's go back there. I'll take a look, and let's take a look. This is what happened when they found the body. All right, so anybody, I'm just going to go ahead and play it for y'all. I've been sick for days with the sore throat, and the least I have to talk, the better.
I'm here to provide the latest update on this case. As you know,
hold on.
We've spent the last several days looking.
All right, hold on. All right, guys, here's the latest.
Good afternoon. I'm here to provide the latest update on this case. As you know, we've spent the last several days looking for Camila. And the update that we have today is that we just recently, about 4:40, 4:45, found a body in the field nearby here. At this point, it's too early to tell if the body that we found is that of Camila, but at this point, we don't suspect foul play. As you all know, one of the possibilities that we were working under was the fear of self-harm. And at this point, there are some indicators that the body that we found may be as a result of that. Obviously the medical examiner will have to make definitive identification and we'll have to provide cause and manner of death. But as of now, we're processing the scene and we hope to have more information to release as soon as we're able. The area in question is probably about, I'd say, as the crow flies, about a quarter of a mile from here, and probably a few hundred yards from her actual residence. It's an area very, very close to here. This afternoon, it was the folks that found the body it was a joint team comprised of BCSO and FBI. Incidentally, the FBI has been great partners in this investigation. Up to this point, they've been really helping with intel work. And
all right, so guys, we're talking about Camila Olmos, Texas teen, body now found. It still needs to be confirmed by DNA. All right, and no, that's just Deborah. That's my background, my friend. That's just my background. Rest in peace, Camila. Yes. All right, let's continue.
And processing digital evidence, but today they actually sent us basically a small army of agents that actually helped with boots on the ground work. And we actually this afternoon made a conscious decision to go back to an area that had already been checked. But due to tall grass, we felt that there would be a benefit to checking the area once again.
And guys, I'm going to show you that area that they checked right after this. They literally went back to the day one search and they found her in high grass. How did they miss the gun the first time and the body? I don't know. Now we're going to start getting into conspiracies with that.
And as I mentioned, probably about 10 minutes into that search, the body was found. And again, too early to tell who or a cause and manner, but we do have a body at this point. Esta tarde voy a dar más información tocante este caso que nosotros hemos andado investigando por varios días. Como ustedes saben, hemos andado buscando a Camila. Esta tarde, un equipo de oficiales con mi agencia, pero también agentes federales con el FBI, fueron trabajando juntos. Ellos descubrieron un cuerpo. Ahorita es muy temprano para decir quién es este cuerpo o la manera de fallecer, pero sí se sabe que es un cuerpo. Ahorita no sospechamos homicidio, sino que ahorita estamos tratando de averiguar obviamente quién es esta persona y cómo fallecieron. El área, la escena donde está el cuerpo ahorita está cerca, aproximadamente cuarto de milla de aquí y cerca de la casa donde vivía.
They must not have had the dogs out there initially, or they would have, you would think they'd come across, but I'm not sure at this point. And some of you guys are asking for a map time, possibly. Let me look.
Camila, ahorita estamos procesando la escena, estamos esperando al médico forénsico para que nos digan quién es la persona.
Basically, what he's saying right now is they still need to identify her with her DNA. They talk about dental records. Her body hasn't been identified yet. All right. But we just saw the family breaking down. We had a family member come in here and watch the family members break down, which means that they more than likely identified the body and they saw the matching clothes. I mean, you saw her like running up. They've got a body. I mean, the drainage ditch behind her neighborhood is pretty. All right, let me play this and I'll pin your comments up.
I'll go ahead and give you a recap. So this afternoon, about 4:40, 4:45, a joint team comprised of BCSO deputies and FBI agents were conducting an open field search of a field where we had already checked once before, but due to high brush, we made a conscious decision to head back out there and check again. They found what we believe to be a body at this point. Yeah. It's too early to tell who the body is or cause and manner of death. The medical examiner will be making both of those determinations, but we hope that we can try to expedite that process to be able to get the community answers that everybody's been waiting for. Any questions?
All right, listen up, guys.
During the course of the investigation, we developed some information that there may have been some suicidal ideations on Camila's part before, some signs of depression, undiagnosed as far as we can tell, but from what's being described to us, it sounds like it was a young person going through a very tough time in their life and going through some emotional issues. And there was some indicators of suicidal ideations as well.
And guys, they said this from the very beginning, but I don't think they wanted to battle this. I don't think they wanted to bring this out. They wanted to make sure that they had what they needed. They had identification. I don't think they would have come out and told us this if they didn't find all the descriptors. Elizabeth Buseth, first time ever watching this stream, but thanks for having me. Really like it. Well, welcome to the crime crew. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get all notifications. Thank you. I know.
Ahorita no se sabe. No podemos decir.
What kind of any obvious injuries to the body?
No, at this point, no. I mean, I can tell you that we found a firearm very near the body.
A firearm near the body.
In this particular case, we were actually looking for a firearm as well that had come up missing.
And did that firearm belong to a relative?
It was a family member's firearm, yes. No, I mean, the last video we put out yesterday was a video from somebody's dash cam that had seen somebody matching the description that we had put out on social media that day. At this point,
and again, I've said it 1,500 times during this stream. I know people are emotional. I see you. I see somebody got timed out and now they're pissed off. They're coming back in chat. Her body has not been identified by dental records or DNA. Right now, it's obviously been, we just saw the family out there collapsing on the scene. Nobody's muting you, but please don't come in here like that, Mia, because then you will get muted. I don't know why that happened, but we don't want to be disrespectful. Her family is in here, and we're talking about a missing girl whose body was just found. Please, yeah, just chill. We don't want that. That's not what we do on this channel. Please, I don't want to have to time you out.
We're still not 100% that the person in that video is Camila. Although the clothing description did match, we received several different kinds of clothing description of clothing she could be wearing at the time. And so at this point, it's too early to tell if this is actually her, but we're operating on that distinct premise. Pues quisiéramos pedir más videos de la comunidad. Obviamente el video de ayer ojalá nos ayudó un poco, pero también se sabe que el área donde ella fue encontrada o el cuerpo fue encontrado, está cerca de la casa. Es posible que si es ella, ella pudiera haber cruzado a ese punto sin cámaras verla a esa hora también. Yes, the area where the body was found is very close to Camila's home. And it's quite possible that based upon the canvassing that we did, not every house had camera footage or cameras. So it is possible that at that time of the day, on that day, she may have made it out to that area without going across any cameras. So it's possible no camera footage exists. But we would still ask people on that street to double check their cameras again. Yes, sir. So I'm guessing in the next day or two, they'll be able to tell us a little bit more about who the body is. And then hopefully soon thereafter, cause and manner of death as well. La ropa que tiene puesto el cuerpo es similar a la ropa que nosotros teníamos figurados que ella llevaba puesta. There was a firearm missing in this case. We had not parted with that information publicly just yet, but I can tell you that there has been a firearm recovered at the scene where the body is missing from the home. Yes.
So have you confirmed that firearm belonged to that relative?
The firearm that was missing did belong to a relative. The firearm that has been observed there at the crime scene, we haven't touched it yet.
Did you guys hear that? They absolutely said the firearm belonged to somebody in the home, right? They didn't say that it was in her home or if it was in a family member's home. So there's also footage. Let me see. What are you saying, J9? They are saying it's possible no footage exists because she could have exited the cul-de-sac through the drain. And her dad's saying that too. All right. Her dad's saying that too. We're going to get into that next. Everybody's breaking this news right now. So let's continue.
So we haven't gotten close enough to verify serial numbers.
Serial number.
Sí hay una pistola ahí con el cuerpo y sí sabemos que en este caso una pistola se había desaparecido de la casa. Una pistola que pertenecía a un pariente.
¿Van a dejar de buscar en el área? Porque ahorita todavía no se sabe si
Pues todavía vamos a dejar una presencia aquí en el área. Nosotros vamos a estar aquí por cuando menos esta noche procesando la escena. Porque ahorita, aunque no sospechamos homicidio, todavía tenemos que manejar la investigación con esa posibilidad en mente que puede ser un homicidio. Entonces tenemos que estar aquí por la mayoría de esta noche procesando todo. Entonces van a todavía haber actividades aquí de nosotros. ¿Cómo dice? Ojalá para mí, mi preferencia es que tan pronto que se pueda. Ojalá en unos cuantos días nos pueden decir quién es esta persona que nosotros encontramos y qué fue la manera de fallecer.
Solamente en esta semana hay 3 casos de mujeres desaparecidas con adolescentes. Una es Sofía Gabriela.
No, Sofía ya la encontramos. Está bien, está bien. Sí. He was just asking me about a young lady that we put on social media this morning, Sofía Cobos. We were actually in the process of reporting that she's been found alive and well when this call came in. So we kind of hit the stops on her. But Sophia's we're no longer looking for her. Thankfully, she's back with family and she's accounted for.
There you go.
Bueno, no tengo mucha información en eso, solamente que nosotros sí mandamos un agente federal y una de nuestras investigadoras. Ellas las dos fueron y les dieron las noticias a la familia de Camila que habíamos encontrado un cuerpo, pero no se sabe, yo no sé qué reaccionaron.
¿Por parte de la familia van a necesitar ADN o algo que para poder ver si es...
Pues a ver qué es lo que vamos a necesitar. No sé si el forense.
Now remember, guys, the scene, they're still at the scene right now, and I have aerial footage if you guys want to watch that after. The aerial footage, it's kind of like map time where you can see that particular area. All right, this is not about likes. This is definitely not about likes. I don't know what we have going in chat right now, but we're all respect for each other, guys. All right, that's how we do around here. So please.
El psicomédico nos pueden ayudar con huellas o con récords dentales o como sea, pero la familia han estado ayudándonos con todo lo que se necesita y ojalá tenemos las esperanzas que ellos van a seguir ayudándonos.
So is this early indications that it's that it could be a suicide?
Look, at this point, we were certainly operating with that in mind. There had been some concerns early on. We didn't necessarily part with all of this information in detail, but there had been some concerns of depression, suicidal ideations made on Camila's part, to where we were considering that a very real possibility. Obviously this body being found with a weapon very nearby, that's certainly, to me, the prevailing theory, but we're still going to process the scene as if it's possibly a homicide and possibly not her. But, obviously for us, we're operating with that as the main prevailing theory at this point.
How is the family holding up?
Not
I
good.
don't have much information other than we did send a joint team to the house of an agent and a deputy an investigator from the sheriff's office, and they both delivered that notification to Camila's mom a little bit ago, but I don't know what the reaction was.
See?
From there, and we were not able to tell her definitively this is her because we just don't know at this point. At this point, I don't know if it was a mounted deputy or a deputy on foot or a drone. We had drones overhead as well. I'll probably be receiving that.
Now, you guys were asking about drones and who found her, etc. They're answering all these questions right now. And the reason that I'm replaying this is to help you guys to understand this. And although 1 + 1 = 2, and we saw the family members out there identifying the body, which is obviously what they were doing out there. She almost fell. I don't know who it was. I don't know if that was a sister, a family member, I don't know who it was, but we see that 1 + 1 = 2. All right. If the clothing matched, now her face, I'm sure her face matches, but she if she did take her own life with a gun and she's been out there for days, her face could be unrecognizable. We don't know that. But it's very insensitive to say some of the things that people are saying. What I'm going to say is I'm going to bet that it's her. All right. With all the information that we have and all the breaking news. All right. Thank you, Indy. I appreciate that. All right. Let's continue. I have more.
Update here as we speak in just a few minutes. But we had it was a good joint team of BCSO and FBI. And once again, the FBI has just been great at this. DPS called us earlier. Chief Vince Luciano has been great. He's been calling me all day, asking if we needed any help. I've been receiving calls from law enforcement all over, offering up assistance. But FBI came through big time for us today. Ahorita no se sabe porque todavía no tocamos el cuerpo. Solamente encontramos el cuerpo. Tapamos ahorita y luego ya no tocamos, no vamos a tocar el cuerpo hasta que llegue el forénsico. So from what I can gather, she was having a tough time with school, with work, with a relationship that had recently ended. I mean, just typical teen stuff that she had going on, and it's heartbreaking.
And yeah, I'm gonna pull that up next. Thank you, M. Family has confirmed that it is indeed her. Now, many people want to go further than that, and I don't blame you for wanting to go further than the family confirming it's her. We got to get dental records. We got to get DNA out there just to triple check, because I would, even if, yeah, please, thank you, M. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all. I got a lot of people in chat here that are, that have been here for years, and other people that are saying things. So please be respectful to each other. Family has identified her. I'm going to pull that up next. This is the second time we've heard this. More than likely it's her. Okay. But once DNA says it's 100% match, dental records say that, then they'll put it out. They wouldn't have put a press conference and they wouldn't have showed us all that they showed us if they didn't believe it was her. Oh, sorry. I still have that footage to play too.
To have seen and read some of the things that we're reading, because it was pretty clear she was going through a very tough time.
Yep.
So, I mean, I use this as an opportunity to remind everybody out there, whether you've got kids this age or even well into adulthood, check on people and don't take anything for granted. Many times we hear, well, she was depressed, but she seemed to have gotten better all of a sudden. So everything must be okay. Well, sometimes when everything seems to be okay, it might be because they've made up their mind and they're coming to peace with the fact that they're going to end their own life. And so I don't mean to scare anybody with that, but don't always take that as a comfort and say, okay, we must be through the crisis. Definitely, if you're going through a crisis yourself, reach out and get help. If you suspect that a friend or family member is going through a tough time mentally, please get them the help that they need. Sure, there's crisis hotlines. There's a national suicide hotline. You can always call the non-emergency number for the sheriff's office or for the SAPD. There's no shortage of numbers you can call, and absolutely people are going to be willing to come help. I mean, it's tough. This is certainly not the outcome we were hoping for, right? We always hope in these situations that she's going to be fine and that she's with a boyfriend and just wanted to get away from everything and not talk to anybody. You don't ever want any case to end like this. And although we're not yet at that point where we're ready to say that this is her, the fact is we've got a body and it's a distinct possibility. It's a landscaping company very near here.
Was she wearing the same clothing that matched the description?
So we've got several different clothing descriptions that were put out that day. We got the one that was put on social media, but then somebody gave us an alternate clothing description, and the body is wearing clothing that's very similar to what was described to us. Bueno, mira, nosotros obviamente teníamos las esperanzas que la íbamos a encontrar con amigos, con un novio fuera del pueblo, no quería hablar con nadie, pero ya cuando se toca de encontrar un cuerpo, obviamente eso no es lo que queríamos. Entonces para nosotros lo único que yo puedo decir ahorita es que mi prioridad es poder averiguar si este cuerpo es de ella y luego ya poder
her dad gave an interview today too, Bob. We were playing the interview earlier. He was telling us how the footage, some of that footage was not actually her at all. Right. So yeah, after this, I'm going to show you the breaking news on News Nation about finding a body that's suspected to be her. And then I'll show you the aerial footage. Again, at the scene of the crime now, we have, or at the crime, we don't know if it's a crime scene. I don't want to say that. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but in the area where they found the body and the weapon, they're active over there. Everything's taped off. They're getting the body. They've got all necessary sheriffs and everybody that they send out to a scene like that. I see fire department out there. We see family members out there. All right, they're very aware of the fact that it's more than likely her.
Ayudarles a la familia con lo que ellos necesiten en ese momento de nuestra agencia. Okay, thank you all so much, guys.
All right, so that's the second time we've watched that. I'm going to go back to the scene real quick. Let me just show you that so you know we didn't miss anything. And then I'm going to show you the breaking news where they say it's her. It's not 100% confirmed. And then I'll show you I also have the overview. I have the footage from above so you can see the aerial of where this was. Again, these are family members, guys. These are people that went out there when they heard that law enforcement was doubling back and they found a body. Now you've got family members crying, and more than likely they've identified her without DNA. Obviously, that takes time. All right, so you can see them gathered up there. This is live in Texas where they just found the body. Okay, here we go. We're continuing this real quick.
So how close can I? Oh, okay. So she's looking at the same place.
Here we go.
Can we? Let's go to my call. I think so. Yeah. No, it's alright. Sorry, we have to get another battery. Oh, they're grabbing another battery.
What do you got to say? Come on.
Is believed to be the remains of Camila Mendoza.
All right, she just said that, guys. She's out there right now. This is the scene where they found the body again and the weapon. And this lady out on the scene is also saying that they found a body that they believe to be Camila. All right.
San Antonio.
Lori, y'all have been very involved since the start of this case. And obviously, this is not the outcome anyone was hoping for. But based off what we know so far, are you confident that this is going to be helpful?
Well, it is believed to be the remains of Camila Mendoza Olmos. And we'd like to extend our deepest condolences to the family if that's the case. It is just heartbreaking. This is not how we want to end any search. This is not how, it's not the outcome we were hoping for.
And you were talking about having a feeling about this area because it already been searched before. In your experience, what feeling do you think that proves you right?
Well, we did get some guidance from some psychics, if you will, who volunteered information about this particular area. This area did make sense from the standpoint of it. She could have walked here without being on any road, which would explain why she was not on any ring cameras. She could have just cut back between the houses near her home and walked in the back of this landscaping business. So it could be.
As you know, with your experience in these cases, when it comes to mental health, what is your message, I guess? What do you hope people take away from this? You know, it is such a tragedy.
There's always help.
Now, listen, we're talking about mental health, guys, and I know this is a tough subject, and I know a lot of the crime crew members that are in my chat on a regular basis. I see that people are they're exerting themselves a little over the top. So please, if you guys are having a mental health crisis or you've had one recently, please don't let this chat get you locked in. And if someone says something stupid, we have 800 people in here, guys. Please ignore them. Let the mods time them out if that's what they want to do. Or I just want you guys to not feel like, how you feel right now. I see people and I know when these cases get over the top like that and a lot of emotion, that tends to happen. So please, they're on the scene right now, body discovered during a second search in the same area, and they believe it to be Camila. Right?
There's always someone that can help you, or there are always agencies that can help you. If you need help, if you feel depressed, reach out. And there are many people that are willing to help you. This is just a temporary situation. There is always a solution. There's always a way to get help. This beautiful young lady had her entire life ahead of herself, and for some reason she didn't feel like she did. She didn't know that, and it's that alone is a tragedy. But there's always help. If someone doesn't know where to reach out, they could always reach out to us at Search and Support, and we can help them find resources. Can call 988, and they will assist them as well.
A lot of the times there are people on the internet who may not have helped themselves, but they may kind of point blank say, why did you guys search harder? Can you kind of explain the complexity of the search and why it's not that easy?
Certain. Well,
all right, so she's going to explain the complexity of the search. Again, we're on the scene where the body was found right now.
There were numerous search groups out that came to look for this young lady. This type of situation is very compelling, and everyone wants to help. There are a lot of people that came without being affiliated with the search group. And what was important for Sheriff Salazar to do was to try and coordinate the efforts and to try and streamline that, to make sure people weren't tripping over themselves, and to make sure that people could do could not interfere with the search for the Bexar County Sheriff's Department as well. And I think what's important to know is that even though we're search groups, we have to play by the same rules. We're not allowed to go on private property. We're not allowed to do things. We have to play by the same rules, and that's important for us, because we want to be able to do the right thing, search in the right way, and we do not want to do anything that could inadvertently taint any evidence they may or may not have.
And so you mentioned how BCSO has been so organized.
Yes.
Is this the best that you've seen them handle a situation like this?
Certainly the best that I've experienced firsthand. They had the search groups come and report to them, let them know where they wanted to search, and they gave approval. So they made certain that none of us got in each other's way, that we didn't get in their way. And I think the organization was really superb in this particular situation.
You've been able to spend some time with family, talk with family. What kind of young woman was Camila?
She was a beautiful young woman. And actually, after talking to her friends and her family, I feel like I know her, and I feel like this is my loss too. Very intelligent young lady.
She's even getting emotional. I saw the sheriff get emotional earlier too.
Is very, very in touch with religion and God, and just one of the seemingly, by all accounts, nicest young ladies you could ever meet. Very good person, good values, and it's just a tragedy.
In those conversations with family, did they ever imagine this could be an outcome? Were there ever those thoughts?
I don't think so. I don't believe anyone ever thought that. No, of course, nobody wants to believe that this could be the outcome. And she was always such a lovely young lady, always smiling, always bright, always pleasant. That if she had these deep issues, she hit it very well. Just that I know all of us are deeply saddened by this situation, and we wish nothing but the best for the family. And we would wish that everyone give them grace and time to heal, and time to grieve in their own space. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, that was right on the scene, guys. And you guys, if anybody's down or depressed or sad, this is probably not the place that you would want to go to get help. It can be triggering here. And please do take the advice of, your fellow people in chat and reach out. All right. It's hard to do a stream like this where people are also going through it. I'm going to put this on for a second, grab my dog, and then I'm going to show you the aerial view. This is breaking news from News Nation. A body has been found.
Authorities in Bexar County tonight report a body has been found, but an ID has not been made at this time. That is important to mention. Now, this news comes as authorities there have been searching for 19-year-old Camila Mendoza Olmos. She disappeared nearly a week ago after leaving her home in San Antonio for a walk on Christmas Eve morning. Authorities say the body was found this afternoon in a field near the teenager's home. Again, no confirmation yet. However, The body found is that of Camila Olmos. Authorities say they do not currently suspect homicide, that the scene is being processed just as a precaution. Instead, they say indicators suggest the death is possibly due to self-harm. They add a firearm was recovered on the scene. It belonged to a relative and had previously been reported missing. But again, the ID of the body found in Bexar County has not been confirmed as of yet. We will continue to follow. This also comes as authorities say they have found a second teenage girl. She went missing last night. 14-year-old Sofia Gabriela Peters.
And this is a problem in Texas. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. And guys, I need some love. This is not Wes. This is my baby Pieces. I also have Bowie and I also have Wes. If you guys need a hug, grab your animals, grab your children. Please, please, please. Just remember, we're talking about a body of a young lady, 19 years old, that was just found. Her family is devastated. Reach out and hug somebody if you're feeling a certain way.
Cobos has been found safe. Meanwhile, a third girl, a 17-year-old, Angelique Johnson, was also believed to have vanished from her San Antonio home in the last few days. Authorities now say they have made contact with her and that she left willingly. She'll be coming home in a couple of days. For more on this latest development, let's go to former FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon. Great to have you, Bobby. Always good to see you.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks. Good to be here.
Of course, these developments just came down a little while ago. Again, we have no confirmation on the body or the ID of the body. But what do you make of this new development?
Well, unfortunately, it all points to, this young woman that went missing right in that area. So the application is going to take a little while. If it is her, she's been out there a week, almost a week. The elements kind of take their toll. Some predation, possibly from animals, could help with the degradation of the body, so that you might not be able to make an ID, a facial ID, or you might have to, do some scientific work in the medical examiner's office to make the ID. But I'm sure that's what they're working on very, very vigorously right now in getting her identified in whatever way they can as quick as possible.
So, Bobby, there are two girls, two teenagers in San Antonio, both go missing. Is this just a frightening coincidence?
I mean, yeah, I think it is. Look, in today's day and age, we all know that, teenagers now are facing more anxiety. We know about social media and cell phones and things like that, and it's just a very tumultuous time emotionally in teenagers' lives. It has when we were kids, and it hasn't changed. Maybe it's even gotten worse. So I think you have to look at each of these cases individually on what was going on in this person's life. Sometimes they just need to get away, and that's.
And guys, I got to tell you, the mental health crisis has been bad for a long time, and it's even worse now. It's even worse with the instant communication. It's even worse with that constant, the fake book where you have the pressure to be like another family that's not even real, to be like all the girls that aren't even real. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where we are. Let's finish this. I'm going to show you the aerial view, and then we'll wrap it up. The aerial view is like a 10 minutes if you guys want to watch it. This is breaking news from News Nation. We got a couple more minutes. Hang in here. Do me a favor. The only reason I'm asking you to hit the like is to get us in the algorithm so that we can talk about it starting younger. I do that with my children. Both of my children have child psychiatrists. I have a 26-year-old son, and I've always tended to his mental health. To my daughter that's 11. It starts now. I just want you guys to understand that it starts right now, today. Period.
Some of these cases, you find them and they come home, and sometimes they resort to self-harm. Sometimes they get abducted. There's so many different things that could possibly lead to this kind of missing person that you really have to keep an open mind when you go into these investigations.
I want to go back to that body found in Bexar County. Authorities don't suspect homicide. They are processing the scene just as a precaution. What are the chances that could change moving forward in this investigation, Bobby?
Good girl.
The fact that it could change to a homicide, do you mean?
Yes.
I mean, I think it's.
Okay, so this is interesting, guys. They're talking about being no foul play, and we're having a discussion on whether it could be a possible homicide, which you can't do to yourself. All right. And thank you, Priceless. Students these days are mean as hell. They don't know how to talk to others. If you need help, 988. Thank you. All right. Let's keep going.
it's probably a low possibility. Of course, it's never zero until they make that determination. But you know, given the circumstances, it's probably a low probability. They can't say that, of course, yet publicly. We can speculate here, but that's all it is. It looks to me like that's probably going to be the outcome, that this was a suicide. The gun missing was from a relative. The police were looking for that. She had some issues in school. She had a romantic breakup recently. And you know, although the friends in recent days have been saying, you know, that they didn't suspect anything like that, or she couldn't do that, people that are kind of in that kind of pain emotionally often do hide it very well from their friends. I myself had a suicide in my family about 8 weeks ago, and you know, the person who took their life had a 6-month-old baby, and we didn't suspect it. And so, you know, these kind of things are not often seen by the people closest to them because they're hiding it.
And that's all of us. You guys understand that we put a smile on and we get up here every day. All of us, we get up and we go to work, we do our thing. Our children have to do that. And it's like a wake up call. There was other missing teens in Texas, and it seems that they didn't have anything to do with crimes. It seems like those missing teens just went off on their own. They found the one of them, the 14-year-old, and there's another one that they think they know where she is. So it's just crazy. If the camera's out of battery, okay. We're almost going to get to the aerial view for those that want to stick around. But this is a good discussion to be having, and to just, yes, pay attention to yourself, pay attention to your children. It's a hard time nowadays, and especially during the holidays, guys.
Fighting the pain.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your relative, Bobby. That is really tough. You mentioned the firearm that was found at the scene. You mentioned it was reported missing by a relative. Do you think authorities all along were possibly considering this outcome?
Yes, I think that all the outcomes, and we heard the Sheriff Salazar say this yesterday and the day before, that they were keeping all the avenues open, all the theories open, the trafficking theory, the runaway theory, this possible self-harm theory, you know, the meeting a stranger on the internet theory. No, and they didn't have really any evidence that was shutting off any of those avenues. So they were pursuing all of these things at once, which takes a lot of manpower, you know, and resources and stuff. But I don't think that they were closing down any avenue yet. And unfortunately, this type of discovery, you know, kind of leads you, you know, to where we're at.
All right, we'll see what comes out of this discovery. Bobby Chacon, thank you again. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
All right, let's go to the aerial footage. Thanks to Juniper's Tarot Astrology. I don't normally go to that channel, but it came up for the aerial footage, and we're going to take a look at that. And this is my dog Pieces. All right, I have Wes the Yorkie, that's 14. I have Pieces the Yorkie, that's a year old, and I have Bowie the Maltipoo, that's like 2 years old. Again, love your children, love whatever you can love. All right. And if you need help, please get it. Let's look at the footage real quick. The aerial footage of missing Camila Mendoza Olmos and the area. I haven't seen this. I know you guys wanted to do an overview. Very surprising. We'll lower that and just kind of watch. This is the area where they were looking. Someone wanted a map time. Map time is map time is Grizzly True Crime, so I don't do map time, but we have an aerial of where they were looking for the body. And it's important, guys, because you got to remember that that they missed her body the first time around, which leads me to believe. Hold on. It's people searching here now. So this will give you a good idea of what their search looked like, guys, and how they missed her body and the gun the first time around.
Where at? All right, slow orbits around this area. Let's see if we can spot anybody down here.
Yep.
Where at?
This is just aerial footage, and they could actually find somebody if somebody had got lost in the woods and they put a fire on. We didn't know that she was dead. So what they were looking for was the 1,000-foot view while others were searching. They weren't searching in that way. This is just the footage of the area. Yep.
Let's look at this creek bed. See if
You
you
want
can
to go
spot
down?
anybody in this
You
creek.
want to go down? The landscape part of scene, she was just interesting. Thank you. Oh man, gopher.
Go a little slower, my man.
Yeah, let's just take a look at that and we'll talk for a second. Do you guys want me to finish the interview that her dad just gave today? We've got like 5 more minutes and he talks about it not being her in the video that I showed you guys. Now remember, there's 2 videos. There's a video of the area where there's a video of someone walking around the bend and there's a video that was obviously her in the car. All right. So that's an easy one. But the dad was literally, everybody came out today for a renewed search. Okay. And that's what happened. Okay. I'll finish that one as soon as we're done here. I just kind of wanted you guys to see the terrain if you're not familiar with it. I mean, it would be easy. It would be very easy to miss a body out there, even if you're searching on the ground. Right, this is just an aerial footage of the areas and the search. You see how they're zooming in? And that would be the best way to find somebody. If someone got lost out there and they had a sleeping bag or, they put a fire, you'd be able to find them and they'd, look at that. There's a lot of people that go missing and they go off. They go for a hike or they go for a walk. They don't know the area. They get turned backwards. It's cold outside. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Oh no, under your scars. Say it ain't so. Yeah, we have to really be mindful. You see that area? Look at that. Terrain looks rough and there's a lot of different patches. Remember, they found her in the grass. Guys, they found her in a grass patch that they had already checked.
Oh, it's right here.
I don't know, Honey Vixen. I wish I could tell you. If they would have had cadaver dogs, they would have found her the first time, you would think. We're here for you, Jay. Missed your face. Thank you, Saucy Skins. What's up, my girl? Good to see you, my friend. I'm looking to see if that's a river, too. That's what I want to know. I want to know where this was, what it looked like. We saw the area that's all taped off with the caution tape, right? Okay. Yeah, I see that. I see trails too. You see where you can park over there? Look at that. There's like a parking space and then you can go and you can walk on the trails. But imagine if she was back here without a cadaver dog, you can absolutely miss her. Look at those piles of dirt. Someone could have took her life and threw her under one of these under the bridge. I'm not familiar with this terrain. It doesn't look like that out here in San Jose, California, my friends. It's pretty much just, let's just go faster. I want to make sure you guys can see this, but I don't want to keep you here all night. I've been sick also with the sore throat. Look at that. They got tennis courts back there. I mean, there's a person out there, I think, that's in the search. I hope, because that was the thumbnail on the video. All right, I think you guys get the idea. Let's listen to the father. I'm going to go back. This was from today, from the renewed search effort. I want you guys to hear what her dad has to say. And now I'm imagining he's going to come back out and tell us about the body that was found. Let's just go ahead.
You can tell it. The person running, good at it. He has shorts. I'll see it on that foot coming. That ain't her.
No.
It ain't her, not at all.
What are you hearing from detectives and things like that?
Oh, they're on the case. They're putting I told them, please go hands down. All hands down on it, please. It's alive. It's alive. We're talking about a life. It's not a game.
Now remember this, everybody was out there today doing a renewed search. Channel 4 caught him and he's going to tell us about the footage.
It's alive. My daughter time's going by and it hurts more.
Absolutely. We're day 6, Alfonso.
6th day. It's agony.
And that's us. She went missing on December 24th, Christmas Eve. Today is December 30th. We're 6 days in, and they found a body.
You know, pain. It's hard.
No, it's very
Break
hard.
down. Break.
I know. But
Break.
you got people coming in and out. I mean, you got people from Houston. This is
Yes.
worldwide. This has got a lot
Worldwide.
of attention, Alfonso. I mean, all eyes are on your daughter right now.
Yes, I'm real thankful. Yeah, all the support, people, the Tim Miller Association, that's what I said, and the global search, they're here too. Everybody, and you know, makes that's what stands me. You know, in my faith. First thing, I couldn't do anything without God first. You know, without God's first. I know He decides His hands. We're on His hands, on God. I always put God first, and all the help. You would see it here.
So today, what are we doing? We're getting organized, correct?
We're getting organized. Yeah, the rescue teams are here. You see that one here, global search, and then I heard there's another one coming from Houston. So the spots I haven't checked, or they're gonna go. They still start spending. If we did 3 or 6 months span or knock doors or as a community to be upfront, please. It's devastating for me.
Yeah.
Like a father, I know they watching this interview. You guys got kids or fathers. I never wish that. Nobody. Never experienced it. First time. Don't wish that on nobody. I wouldn't like to be in this situation.
No.
Heart's broken. Like I said it plenty of times, still broken, but I'm faith in God. That's not what keeps me up.
Yeah, and it's day 6, and I can see the emotion wearing on you each day. I know, we know.
And I'm watching chat. I see somebody say that Camila's ex-boyfriend has been detained. Now, Maggie Duke usually tells me everything, and it's not like she tells me what's real. So I thought the boyfriend was originally involved, and maybe he made it look like a unaliving. I'm going to look for that while we listen to this. Send proof to Jay. Yes, please send proof to me. Guilty of crime by Jay@gmail.com, and I'll play it. All right, here's my email, guys. I'll put that up there while we're listening to the dad talk just hours ago.
How you're doing, but how are you getting through this right now?
My faith in God, like I told you, my faith in God, prayers, my family, they're Christians, Catholics, all religions. I had a call this morning from a cousin from Virginia named Peter Gisar. He has his own church in Virginia. We're out there praying this morning. And prayers, worship prayers from Mexico, here, all over.
I did it
And
wrong.
everybody knows me, all over, family, everywhere. Said LA, Vegas, California, Chicago, Mexico, I'm family like that, Northern California. They all call me, and I don't get the calls. Just, I don't got the time. This is more important. I know this is
that too.
But just keep on praying. If I'm at an answer, it's not that no one got the time. This is my priority, my focus, number one priority, my daughter. And the FBI, there's a message to them, like a father, please help me out. Go deep on it. I know you guys could do it. Bring her home. Sorry, I'm breaking down, but it hurts. That's why I asked the FBI, our secret federal investigation, help me out, please.
Hi, man.
Get all hands on deck.
I know,
So,
Alfonso, there's literally no leads in this case. I mean, that one footage we have from the neighbor with the ring camera footage, do you believe that's her, that outside her car?
No, couldn't be her. I know her. She's a thin lady.
You hear that?
It ain't her. I'm a thin person. Runner. I'm thin. Thin. I'm thin. My jacket. It's cold out here, but it just. I'm a thin guy. She was a thin, like.
So neither both footages that we have, you don't believe either one of her is her. That's your daughter. You would know, right?
I would know because, maybe she wanted. I don't look like. It's not a good picture.
Right. And then there's not a lot of surveillance video or anything that captured really a good, clear picture.
Yeah, I really want you guys to send that if that's the case, because I just looked it up and they said that Nathan Gonzalez, guys, her ex-boyfriend's name is Nathan Gonzalez. He's actively been helping search efforts and speaking to the media about wanting to find her. Authorities have not named him as a suspect, and Bexar County has confirmed that Camila herself, they said that she wasn't detained by ICE, and the things that the circulating rumors are possibly about the boyfriend, but I don't see anything that says the boyfriend was detained. So if you have that, please send it. I can't find it anywhere.
That it could be her. This is all possibilities that it could be her.
There's a possibility, but I haven't seen it. It don't look, and I know she's my baby girl. I always got her clothes. When she was little. She never put baggy clothes. And that looks like a heavy person. I'm saying she never wore baggy stuff. She fitted which started at 14. She started buying all clothes. I give her money. We'll give her 200. We'll go to the mall, whatever she wanted. We'll grab her. I'll pick my own clothes. I'm not gonna pick.
And I know you and her mother are divorced.
Yes.
How is that going on with you two and dealing with the disappearance of your daughter?
Regarding, excuse me.
Yeah. How is she doing, your ex-wife?
I'm pretty sure we haven't had that much contact. I know she's hurting like me too. She's the mother. I'm hurting, but I'm hurting too. My heart is broken. I'm hurting. Yeah, definitely. She's the mother. She's the one who gave her the birth. I know she's hurting. We're all hurting, and there's a lot of pain. It's hurting. What keeps me, my faith in God, and all the support. Like I said, plenty of times. So grateful. All the things here, all the support.
Sorry, guys,
Nationwide, I'm getting prayers. The people I don't know, thank you out there. Thank you. I want to find her. Keep on praying for me. The prayers is keeping me standing. Not I couldn't do. The prayers and the faith in God.
What is your message to your daughter?
My message, I love you, Camila. Come home to daddy. Like I always said, I'm your daddy. Daddy's home. Like I want you to come home. You always said daddy's home. And I want to say, Camila, come home to daddy. Come home. They always said the song Daddy's Home. When I come for her, daddy's home. I would say, Camila, come home to daddy. That's our song. That's our song, come home to daddy.
Thank you, Alfonso, for talking to us. We appreciate it. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so there's nothing that shows that. And I think it was a different person, but I also just looked this up, and let me see. Camila's ex-boyfriend says we're not going to stop until we find Camila. And of course, we know that people could be involved in a search, right? That is involved. So, Bexar County, Texas, Camila Mendoza. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Almost 19 has been missing since Christmas Eve morning. Since then, her loved ones, friends, and strangers haven't stopped looking. Every morning, we have been meeting at the Wild Horse HOA Sports Park, boyfriend Nate Gonzalez said. Now, they're not even calling him an ex-boyfriend. They're calling him a boyfriend. So maybe they just broke up not too long ago. From there, we get groups of 20, one leader who has experience with search and rescue, and there she is. All right. So that's the boyfriend talking about being out there and searching. So far, that's all I can find. She has been missing for 6 days, you guys. 6 days. All right. And the body it's getting everywhere that the body was found. So let me just show you another place. This just came out minutes ago, and I'll leave you guys with this. Body found during search for Texas teen Camila Mendoza Olmos after she vanished on Christmas Eve. So that was 6 days ago, guys. 6 days ago that she went missing. And just moments ago, that her dad had an interview. Now, Synth, you sent me a video of something, but is that the boyfriend? All right, let me just take a look at this. Okay, so let me just leave you guys with this, and then I'll check this. Since she sent me it right now, just minutes ago. This also came out about the body. All right, so real quickly, Camila Mendoza almost vanished after leaving her Bexar County, Texas home 6 days ago. All right. On December 30th, which is today, just minutes ago, a body was found in a field very close to Camila's home. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar said during a news briefing, we watched the press conference twice. A medical examiner will confirm identification. However, authorities do not expect foul play, Salazar says. Now listen, that's official. We've got 3 or 4 different sources saying a body's been found near Camila Mendoza Olmos' home, and the 19-year-old who disappeared after leaving Texas home early Christmas. And we just saw the briefing. So this basically just going over the briefing, saying there was a gun found close to the body. This was the second time they had searched. They also talked about her undiagnosed signs of depression, and they think that it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound at this time. All right, so we see that, and then I'm going to show you one more that Synth sent me just because I want to make sure we catch everything. I had a different episode planned today before realizing that she went missing.
Off the top here, a huge
There we go.
update in the search. Just
Huge.
moments ago for Camila Mendoza Olmos, the Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar came on the air within the last half hour saying that a body, in fact, has been found.
We do want to make this clear. The sheriff says it's still too early
I
to
know.
tell if the body is Camila. Really, the medical examiner is going to make the final ruling on that. That could take a few days or maybe even a week. But at this point, the sheriff said that he does
What?
not suspect foul play. Let's listen to what he had to say about 20 minutes ago.
Actually, this afternoon made a conscious decision to go back to an area that had already been checked, but due to tall grass, we felt that there would be a benefit to checking the area once again. And as I mentioned, probably about 10 minutes into that search, the body was found. And definitely, if you're going through a crisis yourself, reach out and get help. If you suspect that a friend or family member...
He literally just said 10 minutes into the search, guys. So just imagine this. Very sad. 19 years old, beautiful young lady, mental health, I wish wasn't even a part of her equation, guys. 10 minutes. Now, remember, I had this episode all geared up for the search intensifying. And they started and they found her body almost immediately, guys.
Is going through a tough time mentally, please get them the help.
Yes, please.
So again, that was the sheriff
Okay.
within the last half hour speaking for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Good, guys. Now we're going to get what they did today. Here's the terrain. Here's the searchers. And here's the people that probably were behind the scenes that we saw on the site earlier. Family members and friends that found the body. They didn't find the body. I believe an FBI agent or a solo searcher found the body.
Both English and Spanish for the media that assembled here. Kind of a hastily called press
Oh my
conference that was supposed
goodness.
to begin about 5:15, and there are a number
Thank
of
you.
takeaways from that. As he said, it's still too
you.
early to tell definitively if this in fact was Camila, but the body was found about a quarter
you.
mile from where the press conference was staged, and he said about a few hundred yards away from her northwest side home.
Yeah, so we know that she left her home, and these are the notes that I have been taking here. She left her home Christmas Eve,
Right.
6:58 in the morning. She left outside her home, and the reason that her family got nervous is because she left the home and she didn't have any of her belongings with her. The only thing that she had was her car keys. Now, I want to tell you something. I know that there's been a lot of talk because yesterday there was that video that was released that. It was dash cam video. It was pretty grainy.
Very grainy.
And it was supposed, and they said it was believed that that video may have been showing Camila walking alone around 7 a.m., same day that she was reported missing, December.
I mean, look at those search efforts, guys. They did the thing. This is very sad, and it's understandable how they missed her the first time, however, right?
24th. That video was taken on Wild Horse Parkway, which again is a few blocks away from where she lived, which was on the 11,000 block of Caspian Spring. And the description of the person walking in that video matched the clothing that she had been wearing at the time, a black North Face with baby blue accents. But at this point, the sheriff said multiple times, I can't say for sure that
Right.
was her in that video.
Another piece of information that came out of this that I think surprised some people: a firearm was found near the.
And guys, that's what connects it for me. What connects this case for me, whether it's a self-inflicted job or a homicide, what connects the case for me is the fact that they found a firearm that matches the family home, a family firearm that is missing. All right. That's a huge indicator right there that that's her, right? Again, it's not confirmed, but that's a huge indicator alone, just finding that. All right, let me continue this. This just came out minutes ago. All right, they found a gun near her body, and again, it's too early to tell if it's her, but more than likely it is.
Body. And also, a family member had reported a firearm being missing. Now, the sheriff mentioned that they deliberately sat on that information. They had not publicly released that yet. But again, and one can make the conclusion that they're connected somehow. But again, a firearm was found near the body. The sheriff said that they have not touched that firearm yet, as of the last half hour, because they still have to do a proper investigation to determine whether, in fact, this was a suicide or perhaps foul play. There was some kind of homicide-related activity there. So still so early to be able to tell these things. I know people want answers, right?
Yeah.
But it's just still too early.
Yeah, we're trying to answer a lot of those questions and ask those questions of the sheriff. But I also wanted to mention that when he was talking about the body that was found, at no point did he say definitively that it was the body of a woman. I just wanted to
Now, there's absolutely Rio, there's a huge possibility that they didn't find her the first time and that she was put there. So it's interesting to me that they didn't talk much further about that. The gun belonged to a family member. All they said was it was a gun found in the home. It was a gun that matches the family's home that went missing. They didn't say if it was the dad. They didn't say if it was in her home and her aunt's home and her uncle's home. They just said family members. All right. Thank you, Chief Rocca. Appreciate you. Hit that like button so we can get in the algorithm, guys.
point that out because that is still too early to tell. But the reason that this is obviously all linked together is also because the sheriff talked about there was some depression and other.
And guys, we just covered a case about, I think 4 weeks ago. This exact same thing happened. We were missing a person, and within a week, they found the body right by where the girl went missing. It was right outside of the apartment. They had looked there the first time and the second, and they just missed her. So a week later, they found her. And Rio Kaylee also, but there's a lot of times that happens. But it could be a criminal act if that's the case. Sheriff said her message were distressing, that it was a parent she attended. Thank you, Black Philip Returns for reiterating that as well. All right, that happens often. It's not like some weird thing.
Mental health issues
that never happened.
Yes, had been experiencing, and there was a point in the press conference where even he got choked up. He's somebody who
he has 2 daughters. Yeah.
And here's the thing: when we look at this situation, we're thinking that it's San Antonio, Bexar County, Texas. CNN, ABC News, they've all been reporting on Camila Mendoza Olmos's disappearance. So obviously, especially considering, we've heard from her aunt, her father, all of these people obviously really upset, wanting this 19-year-old girl to come back home. So this is something that's really captured the attention of so many people in our community. So I understand why people want those answers, especially right now. We all want her to.
And the sheriff even said,
yeah, guys, I don't ever go off of psychics pointing anything out. I don't even like to look at that because I don't want to taint my perspective of a case. That's all good if psychics do help, and I know they do help, but I don't pay attention to what they do. The gun was a family member's, and they said it was a gun that was owned within the family home. Which family home? I'm going to assume it was hers because she got it, but who knows? We see the family the whole time. She has a big family all rallying around, so it could have been any family. I don't want to speculate on that.
Ultimately, the medical examiner will have to determine it and make the official identification, and that may not come tonight. That might come tomorrow. In the meantime, he mentioned that a team had been sent to Camila's family's home to let the family know that this had occurred before he came on camera, and obviously they're processing this in their own way right now. But a lot of loose ends that still need to be connected and tied and everything. But and you and I were hearing a lot of this in real time as everybody else was, and we're just trying to make sense of all this information that has just come out in the last few minutes.
So right now, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office and the FBI are investigating all of this. The top priority, the main question here is, who is that person?
Correct.
Who was found? So obviously, that's a question that we're going to keep on asking, and obviously, we'll keep you in the loop with anything that we hear.
Camila Olmos. Hold on. I'm going to just look this up. I know we've been here for quite some time. Okay, I say who owned the gun. Based on available credit sources, law enforcement has not publicly identified who owned the gun that was found near the remains that are believed to be Camila Olmos. Multiple outlets report the deputies discovered a firearm next to the remains during the search. A body and a gun were found. A firearm was found with the body. They have not named the gun owner, whether the gun was registered, whether it belonged to Camila, a family member, or someone else. Right now, they're looking to match the serial numbers on it. And right now, the next of kin knows everything that they need to. So I thought the sheriff said it was they did not say that yet. They said that it was a family member's. And again, I just looked it up and it did not say that at all. So that being said, I don't want to say something that I don't know if he did say that it was the brother's gun, but I know that they didn't name a person off just yet. So that's a possibility. A lot of people are doing the sleuthing, right? We're all a bunch of sleuths online, which is what we talked about earlier. So it could have come out from an online sleuth. That could be right. But Camila Mendoza Olmos, now that we just got through this 2-hour episode, we think that her body was found. There was a body found, and I've showed you the evidence I have thus far. Until then, I think that's all we can do. All right, guys. We've been here for quite some time. I almost didn't make it today because I haven't been feeling good, but I wanted to cover this case. Intended, can you send Jay a link to the foul play? Yeah, if you want to send me something about the foul play, I can certainly look at that. Right now, I can't find anything that says there's foul play involved. All right, Texas is all desert. All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully, tomorrow's New Year's Eve, right? I think I'll be here tomorrow. I thought I heard the clip you show. Okay, possibly. For some reason they're not saying that. They're not putting that as public information. So it's just saying a gun, and it was a family-owned gun that needs to be looked at. Has emphasized that the medical examiner needs to confirm the identity and the cause of death. Ballistic trace and analysis are finished, and right now they say no foul play is suspected, which is crazy. All right, guys, I will be back here, same bat time, same bat place, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Love you guys and thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to go chill out now and try to get my voice better for tomorrow. Love you all. Good night. Like, share, subscribe, and send out to the community. Get in the algorithm. Thank you. All right. Good night.
Guilty of crime. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime. Are you guilty of crime?